It all started with an idea on half a sheet of paper. The idea became a draft bill, and soon after, an Act of Parliament was enacted to form an organization that would focus on industrialization. On the 1st of October 1940, and with the starting capital of 10 million rand, the Industrial Development Corporation opened its doors for the very first time. This marked the beginning of South Africa's industrial development. With the rest of the world in the throes of World War II, miles away from the battlefields, in the small Eastern Cape community of Malteno, Elizabeth Ann Grevenstein had captured her neighbor's attention with her delicious rusks that were made from an old family recipe. With the shortage of basic goods during this period, the IDC's natural focus during the 1940s was on food processing. 150 requests for funding were received. Oma Grevenstein's request for assistance to turn her rusks into more than just a neighborhood favorite was amongst them. Establishing from the very beginning its trademark broad-mindedness and receptiveness to the ideas, the IDC carefully considered the proposal, and in 1941, with a loan of 3,000 rand, the iconic Oma Rusks brand was born. The 50s signaled particularly challenging times for the country due to the economic and social problems associated with implementing apartheid. The imposition of international sanctions, particularly oil sanctions on South Africa, resulted in further economic pressure on the country. In response, the government embarked on a drive to get more South Africans to buy locally produced goods, with the IDC endorsing the Buy South Africa campaign. Around the same time, the agricultural sector experienced a significant boost with the establishment of Foscor in a drive to produce fertilizers locally. Further localization efforts facilitated the establishment of SAPI, a paper mill situated at the Tugela River, which supplemented the limited range of paper produced in South Africa and saved significant amounts of foreign exchange spent on imported paper. Securing energy resources and increasing natural resource beneficiation became top priority for the government and accordingly for the IDC. A study into a new technology that allowed for the conversion of coal into oil was undertaken, and as a result of its proven success, the IDC approved funds to finance Sasol. Established on the 26th of September 1950, the South African Coal, Oil and Gas Company, Sasol, remains one of the IDC's most iconic investments. After this landmark project, the next decade saw the establishment of well over 100 companies, both small and large. Among these were Foscor, calling for massive increases in IDC's investment capital base. In 1960 alone, 20 out of the 41 applications were approved. In the following year, the IDC approved even more funding for businesses. The 10 million rand capital with which the corporation had started had grown to 117 million rand. The IDC set up the Small Industries Division to provide small businesses with practical assistance in business management. In 1962, the Export Credit Scheme was established to assist South African exporters. The IDC's massively positive impact on South Africa's economy was starting to take traction. The resignation of chairman and co-founder of the IDC, Dr. H.J. van Eck, marked the end of the decade and an era at the corporation. In the midst of intensifying economic isolation, the IDC boosted efforts to ensure South Africa's self-sufficiency. During the 70s, agriculture and technology-rich industries became key areas of focus for their massive potential as foreign exchange earners. 1972 saw the establishment of the pilot plant for the reclamation of titanium and zircon-bearing minerals from beach sand in an area north of Richards Bay. During the time, many foreign investors began to withdraw their investment from South Africa, a death knell for the economy. In the era of the Rubik's Cube, Pac-Man, Michael Jackson, an actor becoming president of the United States, and the most watched royal wedding in history, the IDC had assisted over 2,500 private sector entrepreneurs establish or grow their businesses. The IDC also launched a venture capital scheme to assist entrepreneurs in their manufacturing and marketing of high technology products. The corporation also acquired a minority stake in ISCOR. With the end of the Cold War in 1989, which culminated in the fall of the Berlin Wall, the world celebrated a clear sign that oppressive regimes had no place in it. In his 1990 report, the then chairman of the corporation stressed the importance of developing the manufacturing industry, as manufacturing was key to job creation. Nelson Mandela's release from prison proved to be a major contributing factor to the revitalization of South Africa's image in the eyes of the world, and consequently its economic landscape. In this, the 50th year of the corporation, a staggering 660 million rand was approved for the industrial financing. In the next year, the corporation paid a dividend of 1 billion rand that was channeled to the Development Bank of South Africa. In 1993, the IDC concentrated its efforts on the facilitation of the transfer of ownership in industrial undertakings to the black community through a public offer of shares in Metropolitan Life, financed by a 140 million rand facility. In 1993, the World Wide Web was launched, and the world would never be the same again. And in 1994, South Africa too was never to be the same again. The first all-inclusive national elections took place in April of that year. With improved international relations, the IDC's mandate was extended to the entire SADC region, with funding approval for a massive Mozambican aluminum smelter, Mozal. The 21st century brought with it big opportunities for South Africa, with the first 2010 FIFA World Cup, the first ever to be held on African soil. The 21st century signaled even bigger investment opportunities for the IDC. We are proud to have partnered with entrepreneurs across a broad spectrum of industries who share our vision of a South Africa that is more economically vibrant, self-sufficient, and one that can provide valuable and sustainable employment for its citizens. The unbundling of ISCOR, the steel conglomerate, Cape Town Film Studios, a world-class studio facility, Kucha Wind Farm, an important player in the alternative energy sector, Aerosut, Simona Equal, Riatila Gas, IMBS Palabora Iron Ore Processing, Umzungulu Steel, Lodox, Opus One Textiles, and Humalin are just few companies that have benefited from the IDC's industrial development goals to date. With government's view that the corporation is a catalyst for sustainable industrial development in the region, the IDC's mandate has been extended to the rest of the African continent. Today, the IDC has interests in Malawi, Madagascar, Mauritius, Angola, Botswana, Lesotho, Namibia, Swaziland, and Kenya, ranging from mining to agriculture to telecommunications. Since the very beginning, the IDC's goal has been to develop industries, facilitate the creation of jobs, and grow the South African economy. In this, our 75th year, we are proud of the work we have done in supporting businesses and developing industries. Much has been done. The journey, however, continues. The Industrial Development Corporation celebrates 75 years of industrial development. The Industrial Development Corporation, your partner in development finance.